I want to kind of get to um, the observation you make about scaled systems, and I'd never thought about it this way before, which is scaled systems like symmetry, they like clear
Repeatable
guidelines, they like
process. Yeah.
repeatable processes, they like, choo, 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 and they
Yeah.
don't like, humans who are messy and unpredictable and time consuming and, and they've
Yeah.
always got their dark sides. They've always got things that you just roll your eyes and
They're
like,
messy, hard to measure. They don't operate predictably.
exactly. And I think what's really very enlightening about how you show how these scaled systems don't work, and one of the examples I've used a lot as a quote was your example of a student who was trying to bring over credits for some calculus she'd taken,
Yeah.
but it was beyond the 10-year window that SNHU
Yeah.
normally allowed.
Yeah.
I love the way she sort of came to you and was like, I don't believe calculus has fundamentally changed in the last 10 years.
Absolutely. And that was a great example. And we are a place that's pretty student centric, our teams, but there was this rule and the algorithm rules, and I was worried about the ability of that person in that seat, our seat, to say to a student, this is the rule, but yeah, like I'm going to waive it in your, like, systems don't like to give that sort of room. Um, because we fear the abuse, we fear the human in the loop, expression from the world of AI we all live with now. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I think systems, and I'd make an argument that it's probably some confluence of Taylorism, right, which has so much informed our industrial way of thinking about production. But when you bring that to human work, I'm not sure it carries over so well. Then add, so post-Reagan, distrust of government, wanting to spend less. So we try to move, we want efficiency and get humans out, and humans are messy. So you get all of this coming together. And the result of that is we build systems of care that try to keep expensive human engagement to a minimum. All of these innovators are flipping the script. So the question they ask is, if human relationship is at the heart of our work, what are the most important human relationships? When are those moments? What is that? What does that look like? And I'm going to hold that ground sacred. And then I will automate and use technology for everything else to get to scale, which is how we did this at SNHU. Our model is built actually on the relationship of an advisor and a student who stays with that student for the whole of their journey. But everything else, as much as we can, we try to apply technology. So when a student calls and simply wants to know their balance on their bill, that's a transaction we don't need a human. When a student calls with a financial question, sometimes it's transactional, but sometimes it's a financial crisis and we're this close to losing them. And I want a human in that conversation. I want to say, hey, Rita, what's going on? You seem distressed. I just don't know. The money's not adding up. Well, okay, let's back up, talk me through it. And in those moments, those human interventions are the difference between a student's success and a student failing. And the real one, the one that drives us all the time, is the advisor, because they're with you the whole time, right? And what we need to know is that we have someone in our corner that it matters to the organization. So I use the example of what was then called Aurora Health, but it's changed. It's now One Medical, I believe. It's been acquired by Amazon. But Alexander Packard, he goes by Xander. They use a model, a multi-state large healthcare system now, in which they, and this is going to sound counterintuitive, actually reduce the amount of time you get with a clinician. Minimal, because that's expensive time, right? That's expertise and expensive time. But you get a healthcare coach. And that healthcare coach is really, those healthcare know you. They know you, your background, your context. So while the physician may be with you all of 3 minutes and leaves the room, the healthcare coach is like, all right, Rita, let's talk about what you just heard. Low sodium diet. What does that mean to you? Well, I'm going to use the salt shaker less. Well, a lot of salt and processed food. Let's look at your menu of the last 3 days. What were you having? Who does your shopping? Or I remember you told me your niece does your shopping for you. Let's get her on the phone. Like, time consuming. But a healthcare coach is a lot less expensive than a physician that took 10 years and $1 million to train.
Mhm.
And they have great results. And people say, well, yeah, but is that scalable? Well, Amazon acquired them and they don't do anything that isn't scalable, right? So there are lots of examples about this. But it does force you to rethink that question, like, what is the fundamental human thing that is needed here in this moment?